Elon Musk's SpaceX is being hailed as the new game changer in today's space industry. But what Russia just did to defeat them may change everything. Watch the video up ahead to find out more. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting video from Engine Nation. In this video today, we lay out the details of what Vladimir Putin just did to beat Elon Musk. But before we do, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to never miss out on any videos from us. Today, we are going to talk about some interesting details about how Russia's new plan to beat SpaceX might change everything. Russia is recalling its 1953 Luna 2 moon landing, which was a triumphant achievement for the country. The United States, however, was at the center of attention when it landed on the moon. It's yet another sign of the times that RosCosmos has decided not to repeat history by becoming the first agency to use nuclear-powered spacecraft to assist Elon Musk in his goal of taking humanity to Mars, despite the fact that the plan may appear unrealistic. SpaceX is currently the only company or space agency capable of sending humans to Mars. So how does RosCosmos intend to fulfill its mission? Furthermore, if it's to employ a technology never used before to revolutionize deep space travel, how are they going to do that? Finally, how does it stack up when compared to the events of the past and the realities of the present? As part of today's video, we'll first discuss how the Soviet Space Agency's legacy failed. Even if this is not a compelling enough reason to encourage Russians to challenge themselves, the Russian people's past achievements should not be overlooked. The country's interest in colonizing Mars could also be influenced by the huge financial benefits that come with discovering uncharted, unregulated territory. The international community would likely back such a project as well, especially if it received robust support from the international space community. Having the bragging rights of being the first nation to land on the moon and also Mars is reason enough to be satisfied with the hype. Even if the Soviet Union was not the first to reach the moon, it may be able to reach Mars. This time, did you know that the nuclear-powered rockets are the means of achieving this goal? This differs slightly from what other companies like SpaceX are doing because they use fossil fuel methane and conventional combustion to propel themselves. The fact remains, however, that Elon Musk's vision of sending humans to Mars is more a matter of his vision than a matter of patriotic duty, so he would probably give Russia a hard time in this regard. Historically, conventional nuclear-powered plants have been very poorly regarded due to horrific disasters such as Chernobyl. As for Musk, he disagrees with this common perception and believes that modern nuclear power plants are extremely safe and that there is a way to make them continue to be so. It must be noted that he's talking about fission, not fusion. So the process of fission occurs when a neutron collides with an atom, causing it to be broken down. The Director of Science and Advanced Programs, Alexander Blushenko, described the program's goals and stated that it would take 15 months to complete the mission. The project team has already begun calculating the ballistics and payloads in collaboration with the Russian Academy of Sciences. There is already a contract between the Arsenal Design Bureau and RosCosmos, a private company tasked with designing the nuclear space tug's transport and energy modules. According to Blushenko, the South Pole Lunar Base will be outfitted with specialized equipment and telescopes to monitor comets, asteroids, and other celestial bodies that may pose a threat to Earth. In the meantime, robots will handle many tasks, while humans will handle the remainder. SpaceX plans to send the first uncrewed Starship to Mars in 2024, as well as a tourist mission around the moon in 2023. This is largely due to SpaceX's use of nuclear power rather than methane. This is due to the fact that Russian kerosene used to be the industry's standard fuel, and even Musk's company used it. However, we know Musk's SpaceX later switched to methane. RosCosmos, on the other hand, intends to use nuclear power because it is faster and a cleaner alternative for electricity generation. There has been progress on this idea since 2009, but it has been nearly half a century since it was realized that such a method could be useful for peaceful purposes, such as intergalactic travel. However, as promising as the technology appears, it is true that it hasn't been applied until now, and if Russia is successful in doing so, it will be an incredible demonstration since previous experiences have not been so positive. Musk has never been a fan of this technology, believing it to be as reliable as fission when used correctly. As a result of these recent developments in the Soyuz program, the program will now run for 15 months, and as part of future advancements, a lunar base will also be built on the South Pole. It is hoped that Jupiter can be reached by 2030, which would certainly pose a significant challenge to SpaceX, but Musk's company brings a wealth of expertise to the table. Previously, Dmitry Rogozin, director of the Russian space agency RosCosmos, warned that Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink space program could pose a threat to Russian security. This discussion took place against the backdrop of the US government having given SpaceX over $900 million in subsidies for Starlink thus far, with subsidies expected to reach approximately $20 billion under the next budget. The question arises, why does the US government need this? Rogozin said of the program, because this type of spacecraft can be used to manage cruise missiles, recalibrating their flying duties in mid-flight, controlling special forces, or acting as an agent network. SpaceX's Starlink satellite broadband constellation provides satellite internet access to much of the Earth. Musk's Starlink project aims to provide internet access to nearly everyone on the planet via an expanding network of private satellites orbiting above. Eventually, the constellation will consist of many thousands of mass-produced tiny satellites in low Earth orbit. SpaceX has launched approximately 1,740 Starlink satellites, including the Tintin A and B demo satellites. They want to launch up to 60 more Falcon 9s per flight in 2021, with launches as frequently as every 2 weeks. In 2019, SpaceX planned for the first 12,000 satellites to orbit in 3 orbital shells, 1,444 at a 340-mile altitude in the first shell, 1,444 at a 340-mile altitude in the second shell, and 1,444 at a 340-mile altitude in the third shell. The second shell consists of 2,825 V-band satellites at a height of 690 miles, and the third shell consists of 7,500 V-band satellites at a height of 210 miles. There is a chance that the number of satellites will increase to 42,000 in the future. Weapons such as cruise missiles can travel thousands of miles, but they rely on a variety of guidance systems, including course data from satellites. The Russian 3M54 caliber cruise missile, for example, with a range of approximately 1,500 kilometers, employs satellite data communications separate from many other systems. The Russians are concerned that Starlink could be used to insert incorrect navigation data into an in-flight cruise missile. In addition, Starlink satellites could be used as a backup for dedicated military missions. Several countries, including the United States, Russia, China, and India, have anti-satellite weapons capable of destroying military satellites in the event of a war. Russia has made significant investments in anti-satellite weapons in order to provide alternatives to new Western assets. Most notably, MiG-31 Foxhound fighters equipped with anti-satellite missiles and S-500 mobile missile systems. These weapons may become ineffective if there is a large number of Starlink satellites. Dmitry Rogozin also claimed that Starlink can serve as a conduit for Western propaganda broadcasts, and that the internet it transmits may contain purely political and most likely anti-Russian content. Viewers should be aware that the claims come after Russian lawmakers passed legislation late in 2020 that limits Starlink's operations in the country, and as a result ensures that internet traffic in the country is handled by Russian-based telecoms operators. Interestingly, SpaceX has already worked with the US military since January 2019, when the US Air Force Research Laboratory demonstrated a 610 megabits per second data link over Starlink to an in-flight Beechcraft C-12 Huron aircraft. In addition, in late 2019, the US Air Force successfully tested a Starlink connection on an AC-130 gunship. During a live-fire exercise in 2020, the US Air Force used Starlink to support its advanced battlefield management system. They displayed Starlink, which was linked to a variety of air and ground assets, including the Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker. As is obvious, there is room for collaboration. In the late 2010s, the United States military refocused its attention on space warfare. In December 2019, the Space Force was established as a new branch. Since then, Russia has expressed its concern through a variety of channels. According to reports, the director of a major Russian defense contractor, Almaz Anti, believes the US Air Force's unmanned X-37B rocket is a covert space bomber capable of dropping nuclear bombs from orbit. Does this move by Russia seem to be a countershot to SpaceX, or is Musk already a step ahead of Russia with the plans he's already started? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel Engine Nation for more such exciting content and latest updates. With